Back in 1977, the Roosevelt dime was one of the busiest coins in American circulation. It moved through grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, vending machines, and countless everyday transactions. Millions of people handled dimes every day without giving them a second thought. Yet among the billions of ordinary coins produced that year, a small number left the mint with unusual errors that would later attract serious attention from collectors. The first coin in this video is the 1977 Roosevelt Dime error coin, a fascinating collectible that can reach values between $42,150 and $110,200 depending on the rarity of the minting mistake and the condition of the coin. At first glance, a 1977 dime may look like nothing more than ordinary pocket change. However, collectors know that even a tiny mistake made during production can transform a common coin into a highly sought-after treasure. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt's leadership during difficult periods of American history and his connection to the fight against polio made him a natural choice to appear on the nation's 10-cent coin. By 1977, the Roosevelt dime had already been circulating for more than 3 decades and remained one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. On the obverse of the coin appears Roosevelt's portrait along with the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date 1977. The reverse design features a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. These symbols represent liberty, peace, and strength. Around the design appear the inscriptions "United States of America, One Dime," and "E Pluribus Unum." The coin was produced by the United States Mint using powerful industrial presses capable of striking thousands of coins every hour. Even with advanced manufacturing technology, errors occasionally occurred during production. A standard 1977 Roosevelt dime weighs 2.27 grams and measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter. Like other modern dimes, it consists of a copper core covered by outer layers of cupronickel. Collectors often begin their search by checking a coin's appearance, weight, and edge because unusual characteristics can reveal valuable minting mistakes. The minting process begins with blank metal discs known as planchets. These blanks are fed automatically into high-speed coining presses where steel dies strike the designs into the metal under tremendous pressure. The strike itself takes place in less than a second. But if something goes wrong during that brief moment, a rare error coin may be created. One of the most popular errors found on Roosevelt dimes is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not correctly positioned inside the press during striking. As a result, part of the design becomes missing while a blank crescent-shaped area appears on the coin. Collectors especially value examples where the date remains visible while the strike is significantly off-center. Another highly desirable variety is the doubled die error. Unlike many mint mistakes, this problem occurs during the preparation of the die before the coin is struck. When this happens, portions of the lettering, numbers, or design details appear doubled on the finished coin. Collectors carefully inspect Roosevelt's portrait, the date, and the inscriptions looking for signs of separation or shadow-like doubling. Under magnification, the effect often becomes much easier to identify. Die cracks are another fascinating error frequently collected by numismatists. After striking thousands of coins repeatedly, steel dies begin developing stress fractures due to constant pressure. When metal flows into those cracks during minting, raised lines appear on the surface of the coin. Some die cracks are tiny and difficult to notice, while others stretch dramatically across major sections of the design. Collectors often enjoy studying these features because every die crack tells part of the coin's production history. Another well-known minting issue is the grease strike, sometimes called a filled die error. This occurs when grease, debris, or metal particles partially block portions of the die. As a result, certain details may appear weak, blurry, or completely missing. Some 1977 dimes display faded lettering or incomplete design elements because of this type of production problem. Among the rarest possibilities are wrong planchet errors. This happens when a dime is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination. The resulting coin may display unusual size, weight, color, or thickness. Because multiple production mistakes must occur simultaneously, these errors are extremely scarce and highly desirable. Clipped planchet errors are also popular among collectors. Before striking, planchets are punched from large sheets of metal. If the cutting process overlaps improperly, part of the blank may already be missing before the strike occurs. The finished dime then displays a curved missing section along its edge. Another error that sometimes attracts collector attention is a broad strike. This occurs when the retaining collar fails during the striking process. Without the collar holding the metal in place, the coin spreads outward, creating a piece that appears wider than normal while lacking a properly formed edge. Condition plays a major role in determining value. Most 1977 dimes circulated heavily and accumulated scratches, wear, and surface damage over the decades. However, examples preserved in excellent condition with strong luster and sharp details are much more desirable to collectors, especially when paired with significant min errors. Professional grading companies help authenticate coins and verify whether an error occurred during production. Experts inspect the coin under magnification, identify the type of error, and assign a numerical grade based on condition. Certified examples often command stronger prices because collectors trust professional evaluations. Over the years, certain 1977 Roosevelt dime errors have sold for impressive amounts. Depending on rarity, condition, and collector demand, values have reached between $42,150 and $110,200. For many people, it sounds unbelievable that a 10-cent coin could eventually become worth thousands of dollars. But collectors are not paying for 10 cents of spending power. They are paying for rarity, history, and the uniqueness of a production mistake that escaped one of the most carefully controlled manufacturing systems in the world. That possibility is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting. Some valuable error dimes may still remain hidden inside old coin jars, inherited collections, dresser drawers, or forgotten storage boxes waiting to be discovered. That is why experienced collectors inspect every unusual-looking dime carefully. Tiny clues such as doubled lettering, raised lines, weak details, clipped edges, or unusual weight can completely transform a coin's value. A magnifying glass and digital scale are often enough to begin searching seriously. Collectors also strongly recommend never cleaning coins because cleaning damages original surfaces and can dramatically reduce collector value. The 1977 Roosevelt dime proves that even one of the smallest coins in American circulation can become an extraordinary collectible when minting mistakes occur. A dime once used for a vending machine, a payphone, or everyday change decades ago may now represent a rare hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. So the next time you come across old dimes in a collection or coin jar, take a closer look. Because one ordinary-looking 1977 Roosevelt dime could secretly be a valuable mint error waiting to be discovered. A dime may be one of the smallest coins in American circulation, but some of them carry stories far bigger than their face value. In 1991, millions of Roosevelt dimes were produced and released into circulation across the United States. Most were spent on everyday purchases and quickly blended into the flow of commerce. Yet a small number left the mint with unusual production mistakes, and those rare errors would eventually capture the attention of collectors nationwide. The second coin in this video is the 1991 P. Roosevelt dime error coin, a modern collectible that can reach values between $34,250 and $99,300 depending on the type of error and the condition of the coin. When most people receive a dime and change, they rarely stop to examine it. The coin is small, common, and often overlooked. However, experienced collectors know that even the most ordinary-looking dime can sometimes hide a valuable minting mistake. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II made him one of the most influential figures in American history. His efforts to support the fight against polio also created a strong connection between his legacy and the dime. By 1991, the Roosevelt dime had already been circulating for 45 years and remained one of the most widely used coins in the country. The obverse of the 1991 P dime features Roosevelt's portrait along with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1991. The small P mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. On the reverse, collectors find a torch position between an olive branch and an oak branch. These symbols represent liberty, peace, and strength. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions "United States of America, One Dime," and "E Pluribus Unum." The coin was produced by the United States Mint using powerful industrial equipment capable of producing thousands of coins every minute. Even though quality control standards were strict, the sheer speed of production occasionally allowed mistakes to escape detection. A standard 1991 Roosevelt dime weighs 2.27 grams and measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter. It consists of a copper core sandwiched between outer layers of cupronickel. Collectors often begin examining potential error coins by checking weight, dimensions, and overall appearance. Sometimes a rare discovery begins with something as simple as noticing that a coin looks slightly different from the others. The minting process starts with blank metal discs called planchets. These planchets travel through automated machinery before entering coining presses where steel dies strike the designs into the metal under tremendous pressure. The entire striking process happens in a fraction of a second. However, if a planchet, die, or press malfunctions during that brief moment, an error coin may be created. One of the most dramatic errors found on Roosevelt dimes is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not correctly positioned inside the press. When the dies strike the misplaced blank, part of the design fails to appear on the coin. The result is a dime with a blank curved area and a shifted design. Collectors especially value off-center strikes that still display the date because the year helps identify the coin and increases collector appeal. Another popular error is the doubled die variety. Unlike many mint mistakes that occur during striking, this error originates during the preparation of the die itself. When the die receives an improper impression during manufacturing, portions of the design may appear doubled on every coin struck from that die. Collectors inspect Roosevelt's portrait, lettering, and date searching for evidence of doubling. Under proper magnification, doubled letters and numbers can sometimes be clearly visible. Die cracks are another fascinating type of mint error. Coining dies endure enormous stress as they strike thousands of coins repeatedly. Over time, tiny fractures may develop within the steel die. When molten-like pressure forces metal into these cracks during striking, raised lines appear on the finished coin. Some die cracks are short and barely noticeable, while others stretch across large portions of the design. Collectors often appreciate these errors because they reveal the physical wear experienced by the minting equipment. Another important category is the grease strike error. This occurs when grease, dirt, or metal debris becomes trapped within parts of the die. As a result, certain design elements may appear weak, incomplete, or entirely missing. On some 1991 Roosevelt dimes, portions of lettering or design details may look faded because of this type of production issue. Among the most desirable minting mistakes are wrong planchet errors. These occur when a dime is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination. The finished coin may have unusual weight, thickness, color, or dimensions. Because multiple mistakes must occur during production for this error to happen, wrong planchet strikes are considered exceptionally rare. Collectors also search for clipped planchet errors. Before coins are struck, blanks are punched from large sheets of metal. If the cutting process overlaps incorrectly, part of the blank may already be missing before it reaches the press. The finished coin then displays a curved missing section along its edge. Broad strike errors can also occur when the retaining collar that normally holds the planchet in place fails during striking. Without the collar, the metal expands outward more than normal. The resulting coin often appears wider than a standard dime and lacks a properly formed rim. Condition is one of the most important factors affecting value. Most 1991 dimes entered circulation and experienced years of wear. Scratches, contact marks, discoloration, and surface damage are common on circulated examples. However, coins preserved in exceptional condition with strong luster and sharp details attract much greater collector interest. When a rare mint error is combined with outstanding preservation, values can increase dramatically. Professional grading companies play an important role in the marketplace. These organizations authenticate coins, verify errors, and assign condition grades based on detailed examination. Certified examples often sell for higher prices because buyers have confidence in the expert evaluation. Over the years, certain 1991 Roosevelt dime error coins have sold for remarkable amounts. Depending on the rarity of the error, visual appeal, and overall condition, values have reached between $34,250 and $99,300. For many people, it seems impossible that a 10-cent coin could become worth thousands of dollars. Yet collectors are not purchasing the coin for its face value. They are paying for rarity, history, and the uniqueness of a minting mistake that escaped one of the most carefully monitored manufacturing processes in the world. That possibility is what keeps collectors searching through rolls of coins, old collections, and forgotten coin jars. Valuable error dimes may still be hiding in places where nobody expects them. An old drawer, a family collection, a bankroll, or a forgotten box of coins could contain a piece worth far more than its face value. That is why experienced collectors examine every unusual coin carefully. A small detail such as doubled lettering, a clipped edge, a die crack, or an off-center strike can completely change a coin's value. The 1991 Roosevelt Dime serves as a reminder that extraordinary treasures can sometimes be found in the most ordinary places. What once circulated as everyday pocket change may now be a rare error coin worth thousands of dollars. So the next time you come across an old dime, take a closer look. Because one ordinary-looking 1991 Roosevelt dime could secretly be a hidden collectible waiting to be discovered.